All right, welcome. This video we're going to share our new course that we've created called Networking is King: How to Build a Career Through Real Connections. And just want to give you an introduction about or really walk through the outline for the course to kind of give you an idea of what we include, to help give you some insights of the cool things that we've added. First off, why did we create this course? Well, we created this course because as we work with people and coaching and mentoring that are really struggling to find and land opportunities and get interviews, we really believe in how important it is to network with others and to build your network. But we don't see a lot out there on how to do so, how to actually build your network, how to connect deeply, not just at a LinkedIn connection, but how to actually connect with others and maintain that connection and sustain it for hopefully a long time, a very long time. So in this course, we go through that, and our goal is to give you the tools to be able to use right away and to jump right in and start connecting in your online communities, start connecting in person, start building those through email, through all the different means and various ways to connect with others, and to do it with authenticity and do it ethically. You're not in a salesman type of way. Sometimes salesmen can be a little bit, car salesy, but in a way that is genuine. And that's really the key, is building the genuine connections with others with a giver mindset. So we talk about all these in this course, and the module 1 is the networking mindset, how to become a connector, and just kind of the framework of what this means and the principles behind how to always be networking and how to be authentic. And then we jump through tactical in-person networking, how to do this in person, how to find events, how to meet people at events, how to talk to people at a in-person event, but how to actually make it stick and how to keep that going, not just to bump into them in the hall at a conference, but to keep it a lively connection that you are able to foster from there. After that, module 3, we jump into mastering online networking, which, there's many different ways to connect with others through online networking. There's Discords out the yin yang, right? They're everywhere. I'm in a dozen cybersecurity, at least, Discord channel servers. How deep is it? It depends. And really, we want to help you make that more impactful for you, and for help you be more impactful in those communities, and will therefore make better connections. And really, the last module just dives into probably one of the most important pieces, is how to keep this going. It's easy to make a LinkedIn connection, but that's just shallow. It's just a connection. But really, when you deep dive and you're able to foster this connection over the long run, you just never know. You never know what could happen down the road. It may be you're able to help somebody, or they are able to help you. It could turn into different scenarios based off of the needs down the road. But we teach you how to cultivate and sustain those connections and maintain it for the long game. And then finally, we recap and give you lots of hints and tips to help with this process. So I'm going to shut up from there. I just wanted to share this with you. And now I'm going to transition this video over to the introduction story that we include in the course, that really just helps give you a baseline of what this means and how you can use it, but using a story to explain it and how it's been impactful for me in my career. All right, so just a quick intro story to kind of kick us off, and we'll reference back through in the course that'll help support some of the tenants that we're gonna cover. And so this was where I was helping with a local B-Sides event in B-Sides Greenville, in Greenville, South Carolina. And one of the things I had previously done for this event when it was brand new was assist and volunteer just to hand out bags and to do registration and to hand out T-shirts, right? So pretty basic, but it was like the very first time that I had been a part of B-Sides. I'd never been to a B-Sides, and it was new to this area. But a great event, met people there. But the next time I had for the next year's B-Sides, I really got kind of saw this as a great networking opportunity. And so instead of just kind of hanging out behind the tables, I thought, man, maybe there's a way that I could really connect better with others. And even volunteering, we're going to talk about this a lot, was already a great opportunity because you're getting to work with others behind the scenes. People that are running these events care a lot about cybersecurity, right? It's a lot of time and effort and commitment to do this. So you're already on the inside when you do volunteer. And we'll talk more about that. But the second event, I asked to help with the speakers. So they bring speakers in, people submit their call for papers, and speakers come from, believe it or not, out of town, sometimes even out of the country for these small B-Sides events. And they show up, and so they need somebody to kind of help them wrangle the speakers, make sure the speakers know where they need to be, make sure they have all their slides good to go, all that good stuff. We have a speaker dinner the night before the event typically. And so I was going to be the guy. I was going to be the guy to help facilitate them and if they had questions. And so already, if you think about this from a connection standpoint, I'm getting more one-on-one time with these individuals than you typically do if you're just going and listening to them in an event. So that's already a good bonus. So I put my name in the hat for that. I became that person. And at this speaker dinner and this event, I show up. My wife and I showed up at a taco restaurant is where they picked for this event, for the speaker dinner. And it was great. And my wife, who didn't know, right, she knows there's some crazy people in IT and cybersecurity. She's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I was like, I know. And I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't even know who's going to be here and what they're going to be like, right, Steve?
Yeah.
So we walk up to this and walk in, and we really didn't know anybody. I mean, I knew some people from the last event, but I didn't know them, right? And I knew them, as acquaintances, but I didn't really know them. And so already nervous walking in, and we don't even know where to go. We're kind of looking around, and there's like a line for the cash register to order your food. And then there's some people kind of sitting to the side, and the guy who runs it, Michael, says, hey, come in, John. I was like, okay, at least somebody's here that I know. But he said, go order whatever you want, right? Come back and sit. We're all sitting over here. So we get in line, and it's that awkward moment where you're just kind of like standing in line and you're just talking to each other because you don't know anybody,
Yeah.
And you're just kind of making small talk, and you're like, okay, this is so weird. How long we got to be here, right? Especially for your spouse who doesn't care about any of this stuff. So we get our food, we sit down, and as I'm sitting down, this guy, Brian, who I had sent a message earlier to connect because he was a speaker the next day, waved me over. He's like, hey, John, I was really excited to meet you in person. I'm like, really? Why? And his wife is there, and she has that same kind of deer in the headlights look too, of like, what's going on here? Who are these people? But he went to the university where I worked. He was an alumni from the university, so that was already a great connection. As most people that wherever they went to school, right, there's a great connection with them. And so he waves me over, and he wants to know all about how long I've been there, did I go to school there, all these cool questions, and just we hit it off right away, right? So at the time, I think I was just like, maybe we had started the SOC. I think we had, and I was like a SOC manager, maybe a little bit higher there, but had been in an engineer position and through all the other stuff I had done in IT. So we were talking security right away. He had been a CISO. So this is before I became CISO, but he had been a CISO, and so we had a great connection about the security, but also about the university, and then also, which was great for my wife, who didn't have to sit there and listen to us rattle on. His wife connected with mine, and they just had a great conversation. Talked about kids, talked about what ages everybody was and where they were in life and those kind of things, and man, it's like kind of a sigh of relief, right? You're sitting there and you're just like, this is going to be so awkward and weird, and we're going to sit here and suffer through it,
Yeah.
Yeah. But fortunately, no, turned into a great, time, and even really blossomed into a great connection. And as we're going to talk about how we sustain that connection, we really just stayed in touch. And then eventually, when I became CISO, I was like, he was one of the first person I let know. I was like, hey man, I'm the CISO now, and I know you've been there, so I'm definitely going to be asking you questions. And he's been there as a reference and a resource to help give me advice and guidance and a mentor, on things that he did and things that he's seen and experienced, just as kind of a guy who's been around longer than me. So that connection has turned into a great, not only just professional relationship, but a personal relationship. And it's not just been about me, like, hey, what do I get out of it? I've been able to give him, either professionally and personally, like, hey, here's some things that maybe other people that he works with, it might be helpful for, because he works with other higher eds. And so that's just, it's a give and take, but it's turned into a great relationship and great connection. I think this is a great real life example that we're going to talk back and reference back to throughout the course. There's more of those. There's many more of those kind of stories, but this is a good one to start out with.